All right, welcome back everyone to the grand finals of Pro Tour Hellscube 8. I am joined on commentary by Clunker Punker here. And the
Hello.
reason specifically that Clunker is here is that our two finalists,
I
nobroam and
lost.
C4, are both running Gary Lance combo. And Clunker was the third player in the tournament to also be running the Gary Lance combo.
Correct. All right.
And so, thought we'd get
I
the
will be able
inside
to. Yep.
scoop.
Yep. I'll look at their hands as while they're doing mulligans. I'll be like, yep, there it is. There's the turn one combo in C4's hand. Does Nobrum know it? Oh, Nobrum has the turn one combo. Never mind. Nobrum gets to choose who goes there. Why are they rolling? C4, stop rolling. Nobrum was number one, right? Or was it
No,
Bosher?
Svosher was number one. Oh, let me open the bracket.
Yeah. I think it was Vosher, Nobrum. I think C4 lost maybe like one or two games. I know he at least lost a constructed game.
The bracket slowly loading. Uh, I think. Shoot, I don't know. Hold on. It was. I put it in the Discord. Off to a fantastic start.
C4 is higher. Nobrum is higher, or Nobrum said.
Oh, C4 is seated two.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
and
right. Let's see
nobroam
here.
seated third.
C4 does
I
not have it.
I
I
honestly
need
had
to
Zvosher picked
to win it.
to win
Yeah.
the whole thing, so I'm a little surprised by this, but
I can't really. I think Nobrum maybe has it. Head of the Forbidden One makes it hard. So polluted Delta go for. Well, they don't have Gary.
Gary's a swamp, so you can get it with one of the polluted
You can
deltas.
get you can get it with polluted Delta, but then you can't cast a Woken rotation on turn one. Yep, there's the mulligan for that might do it. No, because they don't. C4 doesn't have a turn one untapped green, so C4 is probably going to take another mulligan here. Um, no one is deciding whether or not they want to take a mulligan.
And so both of these decks are very all in on combo. More all in
Correct.
on combo than your deck was. Is there any world
Yes.
where we see, okay, let's see if I can combo off on turn two instead of turn one, or is that just suicide here?
Well, I tried that. I kept a few hands and I was like, okay, I'm gonna combo on turn two. No room's taking the mulligan, and it just like C4 just won on turn one. It was like not worth it. Okay, so this is a good hand from Nobrum, missing an Awoken rotation, but has the Verdant Catacombs to fetch a Taiga. I believe Song Nobrum is running a Taiga and a half. Let me just double check. Yep, he's running two. So we can go and fetch that, discarding a Gary Indiana. Um, from there, and unfortunately, there's not much. I guess the
You
Phage.
could thought
What is the
sneeze
Phage?
too, right? You could thought sneeze
Yeah,
on
yeah,
one to get rid of, I guess,
yeah. Thoughtseize on
C4's
one,
awoken
like
rotation here. Like,
yeah. Okay, C4 is keeping this.
puts
Interesting.
the demon
I
from
guess
Demon
Mountain
Fire on the
Pass.
bottom.
Oh yeah, no. See, what C4 is going to do here is he's going to play Mountain Pass, and he's not going to do anything. He's going to sacrifice it, and he's most likely going to go for Young Forest or Jun Supermarket. Very easy bottom for C4 here, bottoming the win condition that you want in your deck anyway. So not necessarily a bad six lander to keep. The only thing is, I don't think there's a turn one in here. I could be very wrong.
Nope, I'm still thinking about it.
Yep.
Do you think he goes to five?
Um, this is a scary situation for Nobrum here because he doesn't know. He doesn't know if c4 has the turn 1 combo. This is a perfectly fine hand to keep if he's not losing turn 1, and so he just has to gamble, well, am I going to survive turn 1? And then able to Thought Sneeze out, like, presumably the Awoken Rotation that he doesn't know about, but I think if I were nobroam, I'd probably keep this, because if I'm losing, yep, there it is, and nobroam is keeping this hand, bottoming a Bazooka Dog, or Bazooka Bog, rather. And we're off to the races.
You see the mountain pass? I'm assuming
there's the mountain pass.
See the pass. Yep.
Now the question is, does he go for
any land?
Any land. So it's either going to be Young Forest or Junk Supermarket here.
Do you think either one of these players has a significant advantage versus
Okay,
before or after sideboarding?
Let me take a look. I don't think there's a significant advantage. The one advantage that nobroam has is nobroam is running a Nunya, which can just fuck up. I don't know if c4 is running a Thought Sneeze. No. So that doesn't mean.
Oh, there's just immediately casting Thought Sneeze.
Yep. See, there it is. And so this puts c4 in a very bad spot, because I would almost definitely take the Awoken Rotation. Luckily for c4, nobroam is not in a scenario where he can win really easily. Well, that's not true. He can win. No, because he needs to be able to play the Verdant to get something that
taking the mining.
Taking mining. Interesting.
I think that's fair. How many copies is c4 running?
I would assume 4. Yeah, all 4.
Okay.
I don't know if mining was the right choice, because c4 has a Ren in hand, which functions similarly, as a win condition. I would have. We'll see how it plays out.
It's not a draw engine, though.
It is not a draw engine. That is true, but you can still just, if you fetch, if c4 had drawn, I believe, a Jund Supermarket here, that would have been game. I believe. Because you would have fetched for a I don't know. I think there's a line here. I can't think of it on the spot. But you can use 2 Jund Supermarkets looping and failing to finding with Ren Tree Nature. And it is definitely possible that he could have cast Ren Tree Nature this turn, especially with Wasteland Oasis and Awoken Rotation. And Young Forest, there's a lot of ways to just get a lot of mana out here. While c4 is thinking, I can kind of think about what c4 is possibly thinking about here. I think the play is the issue here is that c4 really needs both a Gary Indiana or a Jund Supermarket and a young. Okay, let's see what going for a forest.
Yeah.
So I think c4 is going to get the Young Forest so that he can Awoken Rotation on it, bring it back. Most likely getting what is in c4's graveyard right here. He needs a Gary and a Jund Supermarket now. Actually, I don't think that's. What do you do? What do you get here? I think you get a Wasteland Oasis. No.
He's got one in hand.
Yeah.
Hasn't played.
Yeah. So okay, Jund Supermarket. Yeah, Jund Supermarket makes sense. Then you play the Wasteland Oasis, sacking the Young Forest to make the tapped wastes. Then you can crack the Jund Supermarket to fetch, and it comes back with the Undying. You fetch for a Gary, play Ren Tree. No. I think there is a line here. I think the line is Addicted Gambler. So play the Wasteland Oasis, sacrifice the Young Forest, tap the Jund Supermarket to fetch for just anything at that point, because it's going to come back and have the ability to tap for a color. Okay. Are we playing Addicted Gambler? Yes, we're going to Addicted Gambler for another Jund Supermarket. It's the most likely option here.
And then
Although tapping the
card
Jund
says
Supermarket
if,
now was
oh
a bit of a misplay because you could have fetched it and brought it back with Young Forest. I'm not sure why C4
no, because the Young
interests
Forest
you.
is on the field. It's not in the graveyard yet.
Yeah, so I would have played Wasteland Oasis first
Oh,
to sacrifice Young Forest so that then you could go crack Jund Supermarket to get something. It comes back from the Undying trigger. And so now you have a untapped Wasteland Oasis, an untapped Jund Supermarket, and a tapped Waste. Then I would Addicted Gambler for another Jund Supermarket.
C4 moving to
We'll
end
see.
step. It looks like.
Yeah, that was. I don't think that was the most optimally played line that he could have gone for there.
Well, we'll see what nobroam can do here. Drawing a Jund
Yeah,
Supermarket.
Ooh, drawing a Jund Supermarket. Verdant Cat. Yep, this makes sense. Probably fetching for Wasteland Oasis, if I had to guess, sacrificing the Gary Indiana to bring back the Verdant Catacombs. Then sacrificing the Verdant Catacombs for a... I don't know. Because the Jund Supermarket in hand makes this tough. The Jund Supermarket was in the field.
Well, they still have a land drop, too.
No, they played Verdant Catacomb for turn.
Oh, right. Getting a completed mountain.
Okay.
Interesting.
Is that the only red?
So they can play mining.
Yeah. Why are we tapping Gary and Indiana here?
Sacking Gary, so they're flying black.
Yeah, I see.
Bringing back the Verdant Catacombs.
This makes sense.
Probably gonna go get another Gary, right? Is this it?
No, nobroam didn't draw a card from that. No, because nobroam doesn't have a way to generate 2 red. What is nobroam's win con? Yeah, it's still the demon.
It's not the demon. It's the black card. It's the what's it called?
Oh, that's C4's deck.
It's the Dark Confidence.
Dark Confidence. Oh yeah. So yeah, I think this might be it.
Yep. That's game 1.
That's game 1. I think C4 definitely misplayed there. I can't think through what could have been done, but I think playing a waste. I think C4 legitimately forgot that he had a land drop because he passed without playing a land.
Oh, he did, didn't he? Interesting.
So C4 forgot that he had a land drop because he had 2 lands on the field from sacrificing Young Forest to get, I believe it was Jund Supermarket. So he just kind of forgot that he hadn't actually played a land.
Yeah,
so
these land decks are something else.
Yeah. All right, let's see what's in this hand here. C4's hand looking pretty good. Woken Rotation is always nice to see.
nobroam's hand
there
also
is
looking scary.
Yep, nobroam's hand also looking a little scary. No Woken Rotation, no way to fetch lands from the deck other than Fillage, of course. So get a Gary. But then nobroam runs into the issue of if he decides to keep this hand, there's no red mana in it unless he plays a Jund Supermarket turn 1, binning a mountain off the Whammy deck.
Nobroam
so nobroam is opting to take a mulligan here. C4, I feel like has a Young Forest and an Awoken Rotation in hand. I probably so C4 already took a mulligan. I'm realizing before nobroam, so that was an interesting thing that C4 did. Unless I'm misreading the text log, but it looks like C4 drew 7 cards, then nobroam drew his starting hand, then C4... Oh, no, C4 does... They didn't pass it. They didn't pass priority. So, yeah, C4 is on the play here. Mulling to 5, that makes sense. So C4's hand is actually very scary here. I believe C4 does have the turn 1 wind in hand. Young Forest, Awoken Rotation, bring back the Young Forest, go for a... I don't know. No, because C4 is not running Taiga, so C4 can't do the discarding the Gary Indiana. I think C4 does have a way to do it.
Nobroam on 4.
Nobroam, that makes sense. You can still win on a 4 hand. Seeing that C4 has kept 6, it is very scary. I wish they'd pass priority here. That's fucking me up. while nobroam is deciding, young forest, Vulcan rotation on the young forest, bring back the young forest. What do you go get with a Vulcan rotation? Because you can't get a saw the taiga in half.
Why not?
Because C4 is not running well.
Oh, fascinating.
I don't know.
Maybe you get the Commander Sphere Las Vegas?
What does that card do?
It lets you sacrifice it to draw a card.
Yeah, I think that's probably best case scenario. What his lands does?
Nope, we're putting back cards now.
Yep.
Putting back the Urbrass Cat has to put back 2 more. Because they're on 4.
Yes. I would likely keep. What am I keeping? I'm on the play, so duress feels. Oh yeah, on the draw. Duress feels good because it's like if I survive to turn 2, a duress is awesome. If I lose turn 1, then I wasn't going to be able to do anything anyway. Vulcan rotation.
Probably keep
Head of the Forbidden One in a land. Yep. That's exactly the 4 that I would have chosen. Now let's see if C4 has a line here. It makes it a lot harder to get that turn 1 win when they aren't running. Opting to Verdant Catacombs, which does make sense, because again, Young Forest is fetchable. We might see that happen. I think C4's best thing here, because I don't think C4 is thinking if he has the turn 1 win, and he might, because I don't exactly know all of C4's lines. But yeah, I mean, this if C4 is thinking about it, not having a taiga in half in the deck is a really feels bad moment right now. We'll see what C4 decides to do here. Can they pass priority?
Yeah, I don't know what else you get. What you get with this?
You can get because you have everything that you would want to get.
Do you just grab like another Gary or something? Like
maybe I would probably get a Young Forest. Take your time, all right. I would probably get a Young Forest just because it's an insane mana accelerant.
Oh right, because then you can do the Awoken rotation immediately.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and then you have a Verdant Catacombs in hand for next turn when you play a Jund Supermarket, or you can go get a Jund Supermarket with the Awoken rotation. That then has the crack ability. You go get a Gary. The only thing here is that there is not an easy way to make red here unless he goes for a Wasteland Oasis. I don't know if he. I think C4 is running a Lurgoy's butt print. Yes. One Lurgoy's butt print. Mountain Pass is fetchable, but not by Verdant Catacombs.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's probably C4 is probably deciding whether the Lurgoy's butt print or a Wasteland Oasis. I don't think you're getting anything other than a Young Forest off of this first Verdant Catacombs. The issue that C4 is here. So here's C4 going to get the Young Forest here. Vulcan rotation for I think a Wasteland Oasis.
Yeah,
because then you can play the mining. And then no, but I think a Jund Supermarket. I honestly don't know whether a Jund Supermarket or a Wasteland Oasis is going to be better to get off of a Vulcan rotation. The Jund Supermarket will let you get a Gary, but then no mining. And a Wasteland Oasis will let you get mining, no Gary. Wait. Yeah, okay, so I think I figured it out. Young Forest, tap that, Awoken Rotation, go get a John's Supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
You need the Young Forest in the graveyard for this to really work.
Yeah,
I think.
that's where I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, so here's the
Young Forest.
The Awoken Rotation is 100% getting cast here.
Of course.
I mean, that's the only green card in hand. Now, if you get... So it comes back. If you get John's Supermarket, you can crack that. It stays in the graveyard. Go get a Wasteland Oasis, sacrificing the Young Forest. Play mining.
and then once you sacrifice the Young Forest, you can use the John's Supermarket as a fetch, and it'll come back.
Yeah.
You still don't have a way of tapping for red.
No, but here's the thing. You either have to get a John's Supermarket here or a Wasteland Oasis is the thing.
Oh.
There's no way that for T4 to have a John's Supermarket and a Wasteland Oasis hit the field this turn.
Oh. Yeah, so it gets the John's Supermarket.
This makes sense.
Well, could crack the John's Supermarket as a fetch now to get the Wasteland Oasis, but I don't think you want to do that.
Yeah. Not having red manning here is... Okay, so we're cracking, going for...
A swamp?
Looks like a swamp. So it could be Wasteland Oasis, or it could be Gary.
It could also be... There is one basic swamp in the deck.
There is one basic swamp. I doubt the basic swamp is coming out.
But can you imagine the aura?
There's simply no reason for a basic swamp to be coming out here.
Yeah,
there's the Wasteland Oasis. Tapping that for a green. Sacrificing the Young Forest, now in the graveyard. Now there's a waste. Now you can play the mining, but you can draw 2 cards, but you're not going to be doing anything. Unless you draw an Awoken Rotation, which C4
that would be crazy. No,
opting not to, passing the turn in the wrong direction, and there we go. I hope C4 remembers to empty out that green mana so that it does not become an issue on the next turn.
I'm sure it won't.
So now, this Duress to Impress sucks. Nobroam doesn't know that. Nobroam doesn't know that. And there is a universe where Nobroam duresses. I don't think Nobroam duresses.
If you're C4, you don't need anything other than lands at this point, right?
Yeah. So
the duress, the duress would never hit anything anyway.
No, no. Nobroam wins here. So Nobroam will go crack, get the Taiga, discard Gary, Indiana. No. Or we're just getting the Grover Grown Tomb.
Well, the Grover Grown Tomb always goes into exile.
Well, yeah. It always goes into exile. So what do you get here? Yeah. You get the... Taiga, discard Gary, Indiana, Awoken Rotation on the Gary, Indiana to... Oh, not in the Gary, Indiana, on the Taiga to then search your library for likely a Jones Supermarket, fetch for a black land, or probably a Wasteland Oasis? No, because the Wasteland Oasis... So here, yep, there's the Taiga, discarding Gary, Indiana, of course. The question is what getting Awoken Rotation here, because I think there is because you can use the Hat of Forbidden One to get mining and win here. The question is, how do you get enough mana to cast Uh,
How do you
the head of
cast the
Forbidden One.
mining?
Yeah, it cast both the head of the Forbidden One and the mining.
No, but how do you cast the mining?
I think a Wasteland Oasis has to come into play here at some point. Very likely to open rotation for a Jund Supermarket, because the Jund Supermarket can fetch for another land.
Oh, and then it'll bring
and
Gary
comes back. No. Gets Gary from the graveyard to cast Head of the Forbidden One, fetch for Wasteland Oasis, play the tap Gary for black, play Head of the Forbidden One, fetch for mining, tap the Wasteland Oasis for red, play the mining win. Or not. Oh no, that was from the graveyard.
Yeah.
Gary trigger. Tap that for black. See, and then now he's going to go for the Wasteland Oasis, sacrificing the Gary Indiana, and bring back the Jund Supermarket. Use the floating black to cast Head of the Forbidden One. Use the red from the Wasteland Oasis to cast the... You can't do that.
Well, they're exiling one of them.
Oh,
just
yep,
exiling the Panglacial Paradise.
Yep. Sacrificing Gary Indiana and bringing back Jund Supermarket, which at this point is just overkill because the black mana floating, fetch for mining, and the red from the Wasteland Oasis, cast the mining. That's game. That was indeed a top deck moment. This is unnecessary.
I think it's important to show that you have it.
Well, I mean, you didn't have to. There was already a black floating.
No, but remember, they win with the Dark Confidence, usually. Unless they're trying to cast like a super juiced up Duress to Impress.
Yep. This came up in my game against, I don't remember who that was. I think it was Asmo, where there was just a infinite quantity, or like a large quantity of mountains in my graveyard, because every time a Jund Supermarket enters, you do have to discard a card. So you discard the mountain to make a mountain in your hand. But there's just an indeterminate amount of mountains in your graveyard at that point. What is happening here? What is happening? Why are we not Head of the Forbidden One and mining and going?
There you go.
There we go.
One.
Discarding
you
the
discard
rest.
The mountain.
Or the mountain. I mean, either one. Yep.
Alright, so now the players will get to sideboard.
Correct. Let me look at sideboards here. It's going to be the very average, kind of what everyone else is bringing in. Notably, C4 does not have a Tormod Crypt in his sideboard.
Yeah, that will be a strike against him, I think.
Yeah, nobroam has 3 in the sideboard. I think the really ancient grudge is going to come in handy. Well, nobroam actually isn't going to side that in because nobroam can see that C4 doesn't have a Tormod Crypt, so there's no point in siding in a really ancient grudge. The Bajuka Dog, I think, comes in for C4 because that's the equivalent of a Tormod Crypt.
Is that fetchable?
I do not believe so. But I mean, you can get it with Welcome Rotation if you want.
Right.
I had 11 Garys to draw. How do you figure that? I mean, I'm sure he's right. Well, yeah, Head of the Forbidden One, I think, counts as 3. 4 Garys. 4 Awoken Rotations. I don't know if I don't want to think about all those lines.
That's not our job. That's the player's job.
Nope, that's the player's job. Imaginary lines that don't exist are not my concern. Real lines that could exist, on the other hand, that's where I come in handy. So realistically, if I had to guess, what is in the 3 Tormod's Crypt are 100% coming in for nobroam here.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think we see the Bear in Mind come in? Another Thoughtseize effect?
on the draw, yeah, it's awesome because if you survive turn one, having a Thoughtseize effect in hand is just really good because it means that they are missing part of the combo and you get to get rid of another part of the combo. So I could definitely see the Bear Mine come in. Um, so now nobroam has to think whether or not C4 is going to come to the same conclusion and bring in Thought Sneezes, and whether or not nobroam wants to side in a Nunya.
I think when you
I
have
don't.
this many lands in your deck, you might as well.
Yeah, I mean, just side out like I don't know, side out a land. Um, the two Grovergrown tombs in the sideboard is interesting. All right, well, whatever decisions have been made have been made. We're into game three.
Could side out the Urabrask hits, probably.
Yeah, the Urbaskis aren't doing much in this matchup.
Alright, C4 does get to go first.
C4 does get to go first. Does C4 have a turn one? Verdant Catacombs go for Gary? Play Head of the Forbidden One, discarding. No, that doesn't work. I don't think C4 has a turn one in this hand. It is missing a Gary and a Awoken Rotation to be good. The Awoken Rotation is key. Nobroam. Yep, so C4 has opted to take a mulligan. I would not be surprised if nobroam takes a mulligan as well. Having a Thoughtseize in hand is good, but then after you play the Thoughtseize, there's not much to go off of. You can get one of your combo pieces with Head of the Forbidden One, but then you still need another one. Or do you? Because you just Head of the Forbidden for mining. I do find the choice of Dark Confidence to be interesting. Just that was just like a meta read of the power of Demon from the Hellfire is that it's uncounterable.
Right.
By anything that's a counter spell. There was, I believe, whatever the Jace flipping you off card does counter activated abilities, so that was able to be countered. But the downside to Demon is you do need 2 red, which is kind of hard to come by when you're looping Garys. But if you're looping Garys, you have infinite black. So nobroam just kind of hoped that he could cruise through without running into anything that could counter the Dark Confidence, which if you're winning turn 1, there's not a ton.
Yeah, it seems to have worked for him so far, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, 100%. I do agree. And so it's neither here nor there whether that was the correct decision or not. I would have to watch other games to know if it ever got if the win condition being counterable ever came up in any games. I highly doubt it. But all right, so nobroam has opted to take a mulligan. C4 is down to 5. How did that happen? Okay, so nobroam took a mulligan and then another mulligan. So now nobroam is deciding whether he wants to keep 5 cards from this hand, which this looks like a great hand. A Awoken Rotation and a Mining makes this, I think, turn 1. This is turn 1. Verdant Catacombs, go get Taiga. Nope, you need Gary in hand.
C4 does have a Force of Naturalize in hand also.
This is true.
So that can get rid of the mining.
That can get rid of the mining. It can get rid of the Tormod Crypt, but Tormod Crypt obviously not in hand. There's not much of a window to blow up mining. If you're comboing off that turn, you can just activate it again. I think
that's true.
Well, I think there is. So you sacrifice a land, the Gary trigger goes on the stack. If you blow it up while the Gary trigger's on the stack, there's no land to sacrifice on the field.
Yeah.
So there is that window opportunity. But nobroam knows that a Force of Naturalize is an option, and so if push comes to shove, nobroam could pass the turn with mining up, knowing that C4 has potentially a Force of Naturalize in hand.
C4
opting to. That makes sense. Giving C4 or C4's hand. C4 is keeping that Force of Naturalize up, unbeknownst to nobroam. If nobroam decides to play the mining and go for the combo, that mining is getting blown up, and all of a sudden, C4 might have this. That near seek is going to be is pretty brutal. Oh no, but then the near seek would be getting pitched to Force of Naturalize.
Yes.
So I mean, this is not looking great.
But
for
that's
C4.
better than losing the game.
Yeah, it's better than losing the game. Most definitely. And if nobroam does not play around Force of Naturalize here, which it's really just up to the player whether you want to gamble on how many does C4 have.
There's 3 in the sideboard.
There's 3 in the sideboard. So it is a not zero chance, obviously, because it's obviously there. But is that something that nobroam plays around? Will likely decide the game here, whether or not nobroam wants to play around a Force of Naturalize or not. So, if he's not playing around the Force of Naturalize, you play the Verdant Catacombs, you go get a Taiga. Nope, you don't get a Taiga because you don't have the Gary in hand. I don't think it's unreasonable to Verdant Catacombs for a Gary and to Rescue Impressor.
Yeah,
C4 is already on.
The Rescue Impress would be kind of backbreaking, I feel like.
Yeah. C4 is on 3 lands and played a mining out turn 1, telling nobroam that C4's hand is not great. Playing a mining and nothing else at turn 1 does not signal I have an awesome hand. It signals I kind of just have to get this out here. I could totally see nobroam Verdant Catacombing for a Gary into Ressing, and then honestly, that's kind of just game. Because the next turn you can Woke Retration for a John's Supermarket. No, yeah.
There's the Catacombs.
All right, let's find out. I think there is a way for nobroam to win next turn if he decides to Duress to Impress here.
Tapping it.
Or Thought Sneeze. I think Thought Sneeze makes more sense. Does it? Because what creatures does nobroam realistically care about? Like, obviously, Force of Naturalize is a thing, but that's not a main deck thing. What creatures does C4 run main board? Addicted Gambler, Head of the Forbidden One, Faceless Loot, Demon. Okay. Getting the Gary. Now we get to... Alright, we're Thought Sneezing. This is backbreaking for C4 here. C4 now has to top deck something.
Yep.
This is kind of a tough decision for nobroam now.
Do you get rid of the near seek and just hope that C4 doesn't get a green card, or do you get rid of the Force of Naturalize and make sure that your game plan can keep going, assuming nothing terrible comes?
That is the decision that nobroam is making right now. Getting rid of the near seek makes it so that your combo. All right.
Yep.
That makes sense. I would rather win the game slower than potentially lose the game next turn. I think that's kind of the decision I would have made as well. So seeing that decision from nobroam does indeed make sense. C4 getting a germ that will not matter. I've never seen the germ matter.
I've seen the germ get cast a couple of times.
Oh, I've cast the germ. I think the scariest beater that I ever got was when I had my Awoken Rotations Force of Femmed, which then get turned into 3/3s. I did swing for at least 9 damage against Banana in that game. Did not end up mattering because I did just... Ooh, those were some pretty good draws from C4. A Head of the Forbidden One and a Addicted Gambler does let you get 2 combo pieces. There is not currently a green card
right now.
Yeah. Force of Naturalize does not have a green card to pitch right now, so C4 does not know it, but does need to win this game. Otherwise, I do believe nobroam has a way to win next turn. Because C4 does not have a green card in hand and cannot force the mining.
I mean, could get a green card with Forbidden One or Addicted Gambler, but that doesn't seem like the best utilization of resources.
Yeah. So likely forbidden or addicted. How does addicted gambler work? It's gamble on a body, right?
Yes.
But you also win a minigame, which doesn't matter.
Sometimes, if there's a certain card you are actively trying to discard, it might be more winning if you don't or if you do discard
Correct.
the card you search for.
Yes. I mean, I meant the minigame part of that.
No,
Doesn't
I
matter.
know.
I do think that. Well, I don't know. What do you go get with addicted gambler here? Or do you?
I think you do.
Yeah.
'Cause you floated the red of the butt print, and you don't want to let that.
Yeah,
go
that was a little
waste.
weird. I think you should have voted a green to go get a Woken rotation. Oh, Woken rotation isn't 1 mana. I forgot about that. It's 3 mana. I was just talking about how it turned into a 3/3. So you can't get a Woken rotation. So yeah, red makes sense. Like what 1 mana cards is C4 running?
Well, that's if you Head of the Forbidden One gets 1 mana cards, but Addicted Gambler can get anything.
Yes. But Addicted Gambler is going to use up all of C4's mana.
Yeah, but I think
that is the correct play.
Because
their Head of the Forbidden One just can't get anything that he can cast this turn. I mean, you could Faithless Loot. You could go get Faithless Loot. But then you're drawing 2 cards and discarding 2 cards. What are you drawing cards for? Is kind of the thing.
I think maybe you just Addicted Gambler for a green card.
Yeah. I think honestly, Addicted Gambling for probably a Woken rotation. If I'm going to be honest, go get the Woken rotation. If nobroam goes off, you can force an advise. If nobroam doesn't go off, you have an Woken rotation next turn.
Yeah, because C4 has to win this game, otherwise nobroam wins the tournament. So
correct. That's the brutality of Gary. We've been in this lobby for 42 minutes, and this is the best of 5, where my best of 3 games were often going to 2 hours, despite being a Gary deck, because I did not go all in on the comp. I think I could have slotted in a Young Forest and be fine, but hindsight's 2020. Gary's getting banned. I have a lands deck cooking in my brain. Whether or not we ban it is yet to be seen. C4 thinking hard, as he should be, because this is
the tournament rides on this. This
is tournament. Probably. Yeah, the tournament does ride on this turn. So C4 has every right to be thinking as hard as he can. The benefit of a Hellscube Pro Tour is that there is not a timer. You can take as long as you want to think about your decisions without nobroam calling over a judge for slow play.
And
this is kind of just a necessary part of Hellscube because all the cards are so complicated. Putting a timer on a match would just kind of feels bad. What were you gonna say?
No, that's what I was going to say. Is that not only are the cards complicated, even the simpler cards are cards that players aren't necessarily used to seeing.
Exactly.
And so forcing a timer on that is not great.
So here's the thing. Addicted Gambler probably going for a green card. If you discard the green card, GG's.
If you discard the Force of Naturalize, I feel like that's even worse.
Yeah, if you discard the Force of Naturalize, that's pretty bad. So
the best thing to discard here is the Germ.
Correct. This is now a coin flip. Most likely a coin flip of whether or not C4 wins the game or not. Or, like, not even wins the game.
It's just a coin flip. Turn.
Yeah, it just does not lose this turn.
And, he knows that. And I was talking to C4 before the game, and he admitted to me he just woke up from a nap, and he was not feeling refreshed at all. He was feeling very post-nap groggy.
That missed land drop is probably a...
So C4 with the Johns already before the match has even started.
Yep, indeed, getting that Awoken rotation.
Oh, hitting the Germ!
Hitting the Germ!
This game's not over yet.
All right, C4, this game is not over. C4 is in this.
This is awesome. Passing it over to nobroam.
Yes, passing it over to nobroam. nobroam now needs to play around Force of Negation, or Force of Naturalize. Drawing a Jund Supermarket, that is not good for C4. There is already Verdant. No, what is in the? Yeah, there's already a Verdant in the graveyard. So all. What does nobroam do here? There's a mining that he has to cast. So I think you Jund Supermarket.
For Wasteland Oasis, right?
Yeah.
Because then you kill the Gary with it and you get the Jund Supermarket.
Yeah. So, and then you tap the Wasteland Oasis for red, and I think there's 2 lands on the battlefield.
Yeah.
I think there is an opportunity here, and I hope C4 is like,
okay.
Getting
a forest. Interesting. I guess we're casting Awoken Rotation, probably?
We're probably going to get Young Forest here.
Yeah.
Because, yep, nobroam is indeed running 1. There it is. Casting the Awoken Rotation, obviously, on the Young Forest. Going to get a... What do you get here? I suppose a Wasteland Oasis.
Jund Supermarket, maybe?
Or a Jund Supermarket. Or a Wasteland Oasis.
I guess you Wasteland Oasis?
Yeah, Wasteland Oasis.
To get
stacking
what
the
from,
Gary.
Yeah, but
to get a Gary. There's the Jund. Okay, Jund Supermarket.
Okay.
Which then can go get a Wasteland Oasis.
Right. Okay.
We're still not off the Wasteland Oasis line. Cracking it, not cracking it. Deciding if he wants to crack it. So, you go for a Wasteland Oasis here. Okay, yeah. Indeed cracking it. Go for a Wasteland Oasis, most likely. Sacrifice the
Gary,
Indiana. To bring back Jund Supermarket.
Back.
Yep.
Or we get Completed Mountain.
That seems not ideal. That seems very not ideal.
I wonder if there's a line we're not seeing, or...
I think nobroam is not playing around Force of Naturalize here is the thing.
Which is crazy, because your opponent just tutored, and you know they have it in hand.
Yeah. So, here's the thing. nobroam plays mining, sacrifices the Gary Indiana. nobroam C4 blows up the mining.
Yep. Oh, duressing first.
Wait. Okay, that makes sense. Was there a green card C4 could have gotten? Well, here's the thing. Duressing. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now this
for a non-land card, so can take the Force of Naturalize or the Awoken Rotation.
No, Force of Naturalize is a... Oh, is it non-land?
Yeah,
okay.
He paid the extra.
He
paid the extra.
That makes sense. Getting the Force of Naturalize, playing the mining, I think that's game. There it is. Yep. And there you have it.
That was Pro Tour Hellscube.
That was Pro Tour. Oh, well, there's still a loser match to be played for a third.
True, but I'm going to put that one in a playlist before this one on YouTube.
Yeah, that's fine. I am very excited to play Pzosher. I wanted to play Pzosher. I was thinking it was going to be in Grand Finals. Playing for third place, I'm excited to see if I have any chance.
It will be something. But thank you to everyone who watched all of these on YouTube. And
thank you for following along.
Yeah, more Hellscube tournament stuff to come soon, I hope.
Indeed.
Thank you.